All right, I'm here today with Norman Coles and Wesley Glass to discuss their holiday sale offering September 1st, 2025. We're going to start off with Wesley talking a little bit about Wildcat Ranch 1009 in terms of her pedigree, and then being bred personally in my favorite ram out there at Wildcat, the 2351. Wes?
Yeah, 1009, just an exceptional ewe. To me, she really exemplifies just femininity and balance that I like to see when I'm judging these ewes. She just has that length of body, that up-fronted look to her, and she's real square from the ground up. But I like her pedigree too. She goes back to a lot of different rams and breeders that are kind of leading the industry in the whites. I really like the 1619 ram. That's the grandsire on her maternal side, and that, to me, one of the best rams Norman's ever produced. And she's got a lot of Wildcat and killer blood on the top side, so she ought to be a really versatile tool for anyone's program.
And then bred to that 2351 ram, how does you think that's going to plug in on her?
Well, I think that 2351 ram, he's just adds that width and that base and that shape. That's going to complement this ewe really well. From a pedigree standpoint, he also ties back into both killer and the 416 bloodlines of Norman. So it'll be a tie-in on both sides.
Perfect. Now the next ewe on here is kind of I won't say the opposite by any means, because she's still attractive and feminine, but this ewe here, holy smokes, Norman, want to talk about one in terms of power, squareness, and basic build. Tell me a little bit about this ewe that Dr. Rathman, a well-known sheep expert, called exquisite.
Yeah, this ewe is just power from the tip of her nose back there to her behind, right down to her feet. I love this ewe just because of the body she has, the power she shows, that open rib, that big square hip. Maybe in this picture you don't see that big square hip, but she's got it. You see it in her video and things. This ewe is bred to the show, well, we call him the show ram 2409. He's more like that ewe that Wes just had in the lot one. Real fancy fronted, long bodied, cool. And so I think the combination, there could easily be a great stud ram in here. If it's used, you'll be real happy.
Perfect, thank you. Next up is Wildcat Ranch 1970, a powerhouse full-blood ewe here that Wesley's told me he's flushed once before, so obviously he values her pedigree quite a bit. Wesley, go ahead and take it off on her.
Well, like we talked about earlier, we want to offer a versatile set of sheep here, and I always like to try to throw a full-blood in here just for those purists out there. This one really exemplifies some things I like to see. She's really strong topped. I appreciate that pigmentation and that hair. She's just loaded with breed character. A lot of rib shape and just out features in this one. She goes back multiple times to that Yucca Lily 542 ewe, who in my opinion was one of the most significant foundational ewes that the Wildcat program started with. So this one will be an interesting piece in anyone's program, in my opinion.
And you bred her to that 22 Louisville
right.
champion we're selling to jump on back into the sale?
Yep. And he's a full-blood as well, so got to have a full-blood baby there for what that's worth, and just ought to be a good combination.
Norman, we'll move in here to the NK 1936. And I like how you said age is just a number. It's a little reflection there on everything, but you can take it off on the sheep itself.
Well, that ewe, look how she's held herself together. I mean, you look at her, she's now 6 years old. Look at the femininity. Look at the way she moves, the way her joints are made. That's just a ewe that spells femininity from one end to the other. And if I remember right, this ewe I think is open. And the reason is because we weaned a lamb too late to get her rebred for this sale. It wasn't her fault. This ewe, now you can take her and breed her to your big time stud ram and do it yourself, and you will not be disappointed.
Perfect. Now this Wildcat 2332 ewe coming up next, Wes, I noticed here that she's had a pretty successful show career on the backside of things, and went to Duncan and won the youth show there. You've got her put in here, being bred to that 2351 as well. And I've seen this ewe before. Man, she's a stout, big-ended type ewe. Wes, tell me a little bit more about her.
She is extra wide load. She's probably one of the biggest, widest hip females on the place. And couple that with the way she can float especially when she's on halter and shown, she just walks really nice as well. Just an exciting one to offer, and she's bred to a real thick ram as well, so it ought to be an interesting mating.
Perfect. Now we'll switch gears here a little bit. Norman's got a fair number of black-headed ewes as well, and so we've got NK 960 coming up next out of the booty call ram, and on the bottom side some PAL genetics that have proven time and time again to be incredibly critical here to the Dorper breed. Norman, tell me a little bit about her.
Well, I think you can see it in her picture or in her video. This ewe is just power from one end to the other. She's big. She's opened up in her center portion of her body cavity. She's got muscle to burn and beautiful color. And so her fancy point matches all that exceptional body. So I think somebody can latch on to this one, and I think the sky might be the limit what you can do with her.
And she's bred to that Radar Love Buck I know Callie had up on the internet a little bit earlier this spring. That mating could definitely complement it, I believe. Is that kind of your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. He is so thick and tough, and yet he's so cool to look at. He reminds me of Whiskers, and yet he's out of that Radar
the Tudor buck, isn't he?
The Tudor ram that belongs to Wesley. That's all Tudor Raiders breeding. I mean, he's one of my favorite black sheep that's alive, and that's why I saved this ram that we call Radar Love, because I want that in the pedigree.